Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
I have information that you would like to see me. Is there anything that I can do for you?
Yes, right. I made an appointment for a meeting with you. I think right now I need someone to talk to.
You have come to the right place. Please make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
Is that your name, Kinan Ayu?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how would you like me to call you, Kinan or Ayu?
Inan, please.
Okay, Kinan. First of all, before we start the session, I think I should do the structuring or let you know the ground rules that apply in this counselor and client relationship. First, the session will take place for about 20 minutes to 13 minutes. Secondly, I will be your counselor and I will listen to whatever you want to share without prejudice. From time to time, I will ask you questions just to make sure that I understand your story correctly. Third, you will be my client and you are free to share anything that you feel needs to be shared. Lastly, please note that everything you share with me will be kept confidential. However, if you make me believe or convince me during the session that you are hurting or intend to hurt or harm yourself or others, I will do whatever is necessary to protect you and others from harm, including reporting to authority. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay with that.
Okay, Kinan, here I am. And if you're ready, tell me, what should I do to help you?
I feel pressured to stay at home. I want to live outside the city, away from my parents, so I won't feel pressured anymore.
I am sorry for what happened to you, but may I know what makes you feel that?
I feel pressure and constraints living at my parents' house.
Your parents restrain you? Why do you think that way?
I have a hard struggle to getting permission to go out with my friends. I cannot play too much. I am a 20 years old college student. I need to interact with many people to gain new insight on my socialization skills, adapt to various human characteristics, and see another side of world because I know there are various sides of life in this world. But my parents had a very hard time letting me go. They demanded that I only study and study at home.
I think you want easy access to go, which is actually your moment to socialize more broadly, but your parents haven't given you that chance.
You got the point. Why do they forbid me to socialize? I know that my obligation as a student is to study hard, but I also need to socialize. Why don't my parents try to look on the bright side when I go out and hang out with my friends? Don't they know if I just study and stay at home, it will make it difficult for me to socialize? I know my obligation is to learn. I don't neglect it. I study hard, do my assignment diligently, and prepare for exams well. I never planned to travel if my responsibilities as a student haven't been completed. But my parents didn't see that.
It sounds like you were feeling annoyed. Take your time, Kinan. And may I say that the situation you are having now really disturbs you?
Yes, I feel that my parents didn't give me space to feel the world.
Did not give you space to feel the world?
Yes, they restrict me from going out to play, meaning they restrict me from experiencing the world. Even though the world is currently in the hands of cell phones, we cannot feel the warmth of talking to each other, laughing together, or going to a place that can make us calmer. My parents just told me to focus on studying, studying, and studying.
Would you mind to explain what you mean by limiting?
The point is that my parents wanted me to only focus on studying from time to time.
When did you first fail and conclude that?
First time, I felt that my parents were limiting me when one Sunday I planned to go to the beach with my friends. The plan is to leave at 3 p.m. and return at night after we enjoy the sunset and the beach atmosphere at night. My parents didn't give me permission on the grounds that I had to prepare my stamina for lectures on Monday.
You were planning to go back at night because you would not waste the day. Did I understand you correctly?
You are right, but it was cancelled.
What did you feel at that time?
I was so upset. They said, on Sunday, you must prepare your energy and your body for Monday class. Is that a good reason? So, why is there a day called Sunday if we don't go outside to refresh ourselves?
I understand that you were so upset. And would you like to share another story?
Yes, I like to. One day, that was an exam week. At that time, I also had to attend an organizational event which was held for 2 days. We were obliged to stay overnight because the location of the event was far away. At that time, I made sure that I could take the exam well and participate in the organization events. I already know what kind of exam question I will get and how long it will take. I know I have time to do it. Then, when I asked to my parents for permission, they didn't give me permission. The reason is that I have to focus on doing my exams. I've already explained that I can definitely do both things at the same time. I already know how to divide my time between these two things.
I see. What makes you really want to attend the event?
The event was an event attended by several organizations. Of course, I can meet many new people, get to know each other, build relationships, and even speak knowledge from them by exchanging opinions. Okay, maybe it's still reasonable if my parents don't give me permission when I want to go on vacation to the beach. But I couldn't understand why they didn't give me permission when I wanted to participate in organizational events. They do not realize that when members of the organization gather, there is a bright light from intelligent people.
At that time, you won't attend an organization event that you thought had great potential to improve your socialization skills. Besides that, you also have to do your responsibilities as a student by planning to take exam when participating in the organization event. But your parents won't give you permission, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, then how was your exam, Kinan?
I feel that I am not doing my best on the exam. Exams question beyond my predictions. I thought there was only one exam part, but it turns out there are two parts. The processing time is also very short. I use all the time available. The exam really overwhelmed me.
So, could it be that you are overlooking something?
What is that?
What do you think?
I'm clueless.
You feel overwhelmed with your exam. Previously, you were very sure if you could take the exam at the same times as participating in the organization event. Do you regret your decision to not attend the event? Then imagine, what if you take the exam when you take part in that event? Okay, Kenan, go back to the part where your parents didn't give you permission to go. Have you ever asked permission to go when you didn't have an academic agenda?
I am.
What happened at that time?
Fortunately, at that time, my parents gave me permission to go. I want to go to my friend's house. He has been my friend since elementary school. Let's say his name is D. We have a very close friendship. Both of our families know each other. When I said my parents' name, my parents immediately gave me permission.
Your parents immediately give permission to go to your friend's house?
Yes, and you know what? When I asked permission to go to my other friend's house, let's say his name is G, they don't give me permission. I don't understand them.
What do you think?
I believe it is because my parents already know D. They are familiar with this personality. However, my friend, whom we call D, is also a good person. When they let me go with someone they don't trust, huh?
What do you think?
I think that's one of the things to consider when my parents give permission. Why do they do that? I already knew my friend. If my friends are bad people, I cannot possibly want to be friends with them. I do everything based on my feelings. They cannot act like that. Such behavior shows they can limit my socialization.
Would that be your own perception when you say that they limit your socialization?
My own impression. So, what should we call that situation? My parents want to protect me from strangers?
What do you think?
Yes, that's true. My parents want to protect me. But why are they too possessive?
Okay, when you have responsibility for your studies, your parents do not give you permission to go to an event, which is very beneficial event. Meanwhile, during the semester break, your parents gave you permission to go to a friend's house who was very familiar with you and your family. But your parents didn't give you permission to go to a friend's house you weren't familiar with. Do you feel they are overprotective, even if you think they seems to limit your socialization?
I believe so.
And one thing, I want to ask you something. When your parents do not give you permission to go out, are you trying to keep your willing to go?
Sure, I will definitely try to defend my will. But if I have asked permission twice and didn't get permission, then I will not go.
Why is that?
I avoid making a fuss. I am lazy if I have to argue. So, yes, I always choose to follow their orders.
What do you mean by avoiding a fuss?
Yes, because the rule at my home is that parents are always right. Whatever and however, parents will always be right.
I see. Did you ever ask the reason why they didn't give you permission to go several times? Or have you ever explained that you have never neglected your responsibility as a student with the hope that both of you will understand and know each other? What do you think and what you guys feel?
Of course, I never done that. The principle that parents are always right makes me too lazy to talk, discuss, and exchange stories with them. What kind of relationship is this? What is this? So-called relationship between a child and a parent? Relationships that are not mutually exclusive with each other are not intimate.
I am sorry for what happened to you, Kinan. Take your time. Kinan, whenever you are ready, I am here and I am willing to listen to your relationship issue with your parents. But our priority for now is to look for solution for your current problem.
Maybe there really isn't anything that can be fixed. Maybe I have to accept the fate of being a child whose movements are always restricted by my parents until whenever it is. My relationships with my parents was very bad. I feel like I don't want to fix anything.
Would you mind explaining what you mean by I don't want to fix anything? Because at the beginning of the session, you seemed to agree with the plan we made. Why now? Are you suddenly switched?
I cannot talk with them.
You can't talk with them?
I feel angry at them because of what happened, and that feeling is so strong.
What do you mean?
Sometimes I remember that they are my parents. However, I should love them. There are people who love me unconditionally. I want to get rid of my resentment towards my parents. I want to forgive them and accept the fact that I have strict parents. But when I think about what happened, I get even angrier.
So you don't want to forgive your parents and then accept the fact that you have strict parents? Kiran, please imagine if you don't have a good relationship with your parents, who will take care of them in their old age? Who will be the grandparents for your children? Who will be the most comfortable place to tell stories? Because actually, you know that your parents love you unconditionally. Until now, maybe you haven't been able to accept the fact that your parents are strict parents. But one thing you need to realize now is you will forever be their responsibility before you get married. If you don't try to accept and come to terms with your situation, you will always feel depressed. Communication is a way to reduce misunderstandings. Communication is needed so that we can understand each other's situation. Have you tried to talk to them and got a bad response? Kinan, there's a possibility that your parents will know you and understand what you are feeling right now. Do you regret telling me all of this, Kinan?
No, I'm just trying to understand your sentence.
Take your time, Kinan. What do you think you should do?
I have no idea.
It's okay. Don't be in rush. Think it carefully.
I think I should take the first step, which is to accept the fact that I have strict parents.
Okay, if you don't mind sharing with me, what's the next step?
Finally, I decided to accept the situation as it was. So it will be easy for me to forgive my parents, although it may take some processing. I also began to realize that the beginning of this problem was also my fault. The pressure I feel is also because I don't try to communicate how I feel. I think if I have accepted the situation and I try to forgive my parents, it will make it easier for me to talk heart to heart with them.
That sounds good. Then, do you try to talk to your parents?
I do, indeed.
How do you do? How do you do that?
I will speak directly to my parents, mommy and daddy. Maybe the conversations will be a little tense, awkward, and emotional. But maybe this is the only way that will be the beginning of a better change in our family.
Good. When do you plan to talk to your parents?
I plan to talk to them on the weekend, maybe on Saturday afternoon when my parents were talking and sitting relaxed in our yard.
I do believe your parents want the best for you, and I also believe you want to give the best to your parents, right?
Yes, I guess too.
Now, let us summarize the session together. Initially, you came to see me because you were depressed by the attitude and rules from your parents who forced you to study and did not provide easy access for you to socialize. Your parents asked you to be focused on studying. We have begun to realize that this issue occurred because the pressure from your parents are too high and there is a lack of communication between you and your parents. During the last session, you planned to talk to your parents to resolve this issue this weekend, specifically in the afternoon on Saturday. Should we now discuss your action plan?
That's a good idea.
What do you plan to do with your conversation with your parents?
Later, I will tell you how I feel, namely the feeling of being pressured by the rules given by them. I will say I was confused and angry when they didn't give me permission to leave. I will convey that I know very well what my responsibilities and needs are. Learning is my responsibility, which I will never neglect. While playing, I need a moment to socialize as well as reverse for a moment from the routine that I live.
Then,
After I convey what I feel, I would ask why they had a hard time giving me permission to go play. That way, I hope we can understand each other and what we want. I wish I could go play too, so my socialization was good and I could still act the way they wanted me to. Maybe they hoped that I wouldn't lose focus while studying or that I could get along with people more wisely.
I hope that through this conversation, you and your parents will begin to fix everything that is not right in your relationship, resolve the problems that arise, and strengthen your relationship. Kinan, whenever you need me, my door is always open for you.
Thank you, Miss Adele, for listening to my story.
No worries, Kinan.
Okay, I have to go now. See you later, Adele.
See you and take care. And please remember one thing, Kinan. Please be happy. You deserve it. I do apologize if I had any mistakes for anything that I do. And last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.